Today starts on a Sunday. Let me explain why. Alright, so as most of you guys know, Paul is out of the shop this week. So it's been a little bit chaotic and a little bit nuts. But with all that, we managed to make, we managed to get through. But then it comes to this part of it, the vlog. And then I made a mistake. See, we film with the two cameras. We have this one here, the vlog camera, the Canon, and then we use the GoPro. The GoPro footage somehow all made it through the week unscathed, no problem. But this one that we actually talked to you on, I deleted all the footage except for Saturday. That kind of sucks. I'm gonna kill her. So we have all the GoPro footage, which is good, but a lot of the explanation parts, the close-up shots, and of course the good user information we don't have. Except for Saturday. So the first car we worked on this week, well actually we have the footage of me explaining it from the GoPro angle. So let's go ahead and let's get started with Thursday. What are we doing, Fernando?
Sweating over here.
Would you like a fan?
Oh, definitely.
I'll turn on the fan for you.
Thank you.
Well, what are we doing in the meantime?
We want to Roadkill all the back deck.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah.
it's like, what kind of cheese is the holes?
Swiss.
Swiss.
Swiss cheese.
A lot of holes in here.
So the reason why we're roadkilling it in the first place is he's got these guys here, which these are pretty neat. So these are Addictive Audio 6x9 inch, supposedly subwoofers. Now they were already installed in the car. Let's see what model these are. We don't sell Addictive Audio, but these are the NFW69 4-ohm speakers.
High output 6x9 subwoofer.
There you go. You guys are looking for a 6x9 inch subwoofer. Now, so we listened to them beforehand without the roadkill and say they weren't that impressive. We're hoping that it'll get a lot better once we sound dead in this thing. The reason why it's in is we had originally put in the P300, the 10-inch powered Rockford.
Yeah, B300.
He wants all his trunk space, so we had somebody else put these in. They did a bang-up job. And where's the amp? Did you already take it out?
The amp, no, the amp is right here.
Yeah, so they just drywall screwed this. They used our wires and just hucked through it. Yeah, anyway, so we're gonna move this, hopefully hide it somewhere, fix that. They didn't even put speaker terminals on the wires. They just twisted them around. I'm pretty sure they did a 10-minute install on this. He wants us to do what we do and get it to the way he wants it.
Yeah, open and close.
God damn. Let's get started. Alright, so when we got done adding all the roadkill, relocating the amplifier, he was ultra thrilled with it. He really liked the sound. It's not as much as like adding like a P310. It's not, they're not real subwoofers. But if you're just looking for replacing the factory subwoofer, I feel it's a really good option for sure. So on Friday, we had a old school BMW come in for a radio and some new speakers. We had great footage on it, and I wish we would have been able to save it, but this is what we got. Excited, Fernando?
I'm excited.
You look excited.
Yay!
Like the other day when we were talking about in the Mercedes, sliding these things in, take the face off. A lot of things too. One of the main reasons for it is like when you're working on these cars, there's like tape and goo, and like when I was putting on this pillar over here, I don't know what it was, but I got slimed by some really weird crap. And although I've washed my hands like 4 times, there's still stuff on them, and all that stuff, if you're pushing on the face of the radio, can get onto this nice crisp clear screen and you can scratch it. So when you're doing one of these slide-ins, you know, take the face off and slide it in. You know, it doesn't take any effort.
Alright, that's it. Sounds good. Put it to the front and go to the next one.
Alright guys, that's it. Sorry about losing the footage. It's really kind of disappointing. I'll do better next time. On the Saturday, we hope you guys enjoy it. Oh yeah, one other thing. Thanks a lot for commenting on the MTAT thing, automatic manual transmission. It seems so obvious, totally missed that one. Oh well, I hate acronyms, but that's another story. Alright guys, on to Saturday. Well, hi there guys, it's Saturday. We're working on an Ultima with the Bose stereo. Let's check it out. So we're doing a kicker comp R box with a 1200 watt amp, and this particular one has a Bose system. If you got a Bose system, you don't necessarily need a high level to low level, and we're gonna show you how to figure it out. So in the rear deck of the car right here is the factory amplifier. This guy here and that guy there are subwoofers. So to do this, you're gonna need a couple tools. One in specific, you're gonna need a voltmeter. You don't need an RTA, but I have one here. We got this stripped off. These guys here, as we said, are what we're looking for, the signal wires. This standalone wire here is typically the remote turn on. So go ahead and set your meter to volts, DC volts, which is aligned with the dots underneath it. Put your probe into the ground, which is the big black wire, and go ahead and tap into, in this case, it's a green-white wire, and we get 12.2 volts. Now let's go shut the radio off. Radio's off, voltage goes away. So we found the remote turn on. Now what we want to find is signal. And for that we want to set this to AC, which is the squiggly line with the V. Go ahead and put that on. And we want to pick one of these guys here, one of the signal cables, and we want to put our voltmeter into it. And what we're looking for is a variable voltage output, meaning that the voltage moves around when we turn up and down the volume. So you see the volume goes up and down, which means this has a variable voltage output. Now what that looks like, which is why I have the RTA here. So this is the signal that's coming out of the radio. Go ahead and turn it down. So this has a variable voltage, which means this has a preamp level output. So all we need to do is tap into this for remote turn on and tap into one of these for our signal with just an RCA that we can plug into the amplifier. So the other part of the equation is figuring out which one of these wires is positive and negative. And we've showed this in a video before. We have our little amplifier here. What we've done is we've hooked an RCA up into the plug. We're playing a CD in the dash that has a speaker pop. That's the tick tick kick you hear. Now we're gonna go ahead and just polarity check it. All right, so it's backwards. So we'll go ahead and switch these RCAs. And there we go. So now we know on this which one is negative and positive so that we can tap our RCA into this and go into the amplifier and make sure that it's moving in the right direction with the rest of the speakers in the car. All right, so what do you got going on here? You got it in?
We got it in. Just have to screw it back in. That's it.
Okay. What's it attached to?
And to the panel in the back.
Oh, you put a panel under the carpet?
Yep.
So there you go. Yep. Looks good. All right, so we have the fuse holder in there again, mounted it here, goes along, stands up this way so that this is tucked out of the way. And we get to answer the phone. So we have a quick iPod cable switch out. He's got an old iPod cable. It looks like a beaver's been chewing on it. Here, check this out. As you can see, it's all gummed up and looking nasty. It says on the radio, you know, don't use cable. So what we do is we take some Chinese finger torture stuff and some shrink wrap and we give it a nice better end so it's not so weak and flimsy. He had somebody do this. We're gonna go ahead and take this one out and put our new sexy in. What you doing, Fernando? You look like you're sweating.
I'm sweating. Definitely I'm sweating.
Yeah?
I was scared.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can just imagine. Hold on, let me take a look and see what this dash looks like. You guys with Nissan Altimas are probably way too, oh yeah, look at that, Jesus.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like the whole thing, it's just like.
Well, you actually did a pretty good job getting it out.
Woo!
You're the man. What are we putting in it?
2800.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna try to put a radio in this here, whatever this is. I don't know, but it's in the parking lot. I'm gonna try to put a radio in it, amidst running back and forth and answering the phone. That ought to be fun.
I think it's a Trans Am.
It's not a Trans Am.
No, what is that?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. Love the ding. It's actually a Grand Am. I think he was actually saying Grand Am, not Trans Am. But either way, it's an old Grand Am. It's got an old JVC in the dash. Doesn't work anymore. You were close. Were you saying Grand Am or Trans Am?
I say Trans Am.
Trans Am? It's Grand Am.
Woo!
So, pretty close. All right, so we're gonna swap out his old JVC for this guy right here. This is a Pioneer. It's just got an aux and a USB. It doesn't need Bluetooth. So let's get the old one out. When installing these radios, these guys, this is a problem right here. Don't look at me, look at these. See this little tiny, look at this silly little gap right here. It's practically flush with the top. And what happens is when you get a kit like this, see how thick that is? Look at how thick that is. Well, what happens is these don't sit over these. So you end up with this, or it just looks terrible. What we find ourselves having to do a lot of the times is fix things like this. On this one, it's actually not too bad. So what you have to do is once you get this kit, well here, come closer. So what you do is you cut this thin portion out right here. And I like to use a set of flush cuts. And we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Now we're gonna take our grinder and grind it up just a little bit so they match on both sides. 5-star, can I help you? All right, so what we want to do is kind of grind this so it leaves a little tooth like this, and then remove all the back side of it here. So now when we put it back into the kit, so the radio now sits flush in there. It looks a lot nicer. There you go. All right, let's put this kit together. All right, so there we go. Now it's nice and in there. And remember, constantly adjust these screws. Check your gapping, make sure everything's level. That's important. A 16th, a 32nd, these things crooked, looks terrible on the dash. So always just spend the time to make sure these are where they need to be. Now this guy's good, we can put it in the car. Now, anytime you're doing a Nissan, something to remember is most Nissans, even though there's usually a black wire in the harness, does not have a ground in the harness. They have these nice big pieces of metal back here. Give yourself a ground onto it, do yourself a favor. We should be able to turn this on and see if it works. And other things with Nissans, don't unplug the airbag light and then turn the key on. If you do, you're going to get an airbag light on the dash.
Part stores.
All right, so we get sound, we get FM reception. Let's get Fernando back in here to put this thing back together. Well, hey there. So, the last car of the day is a nice Chevy Cruze. Let's take a look at it. So we're gonna put a Rockford Prime 501 in. What we're planning on doing is mounting the amp here in the trunk. Right here it has this cool little pin. We're gonna go ahead and pull that out. We're gonna put a nut rivet there. We're gonna make a panel to mount it right here. Run the wires through this sleeve right here so that's nice and tucked out of the way. And then here's the cool box that's gonna go in there. Got some nice comp Cs. So for high level to low level, we're gonna use this guy right here, the LP72. Gonna generate a remote turn on for us, so all good. Let's get wiring. Let's get this car apart. Yeah.
Oh, cool, man.
All right, so we have the amp mounted in the corner. The silver dot right there is the screw. Just finishing up the box. Wow, you found the hardest way to do that, huh?
What?
Hey, I could have done it from this side.
I'm small, I can do this.
Okay.
Not really, help me.
No, you're doing fine. You got this. You got this. I have total faith in your ability.
I know. I have faith in it.
Okay. Well, that's it for the week. We're out of here. We're going home. Thank God. Monday, Paul starts back from his vacation, so we won't have to be running back and forth and answering the phones and doing all that nonsense. We have a busy week next week. Lots of cool cars to show you guys, so make sure to stay tuned and keep watching.
Yeah.
You guys have a great weekend. We will see you Monday. Bye.
Bye.